Good morning. It's Tuesday, August 5th. Here's what we're working on this morning. A fatal crash has closed Highway 54 in Haldimand County.
Winona Peach Festival is boosting security after a gun incident last year.
And Burlington's Victoria Mbuko cruises into the National Bank Open semifinals.
The fairy tale
Good morning and welcome to Morning Live. I can really taste the smoke yesterday.
Yes.
It was hazy, it was smoky.
Yeah, it was.
Everybody's sneezing.
It was pretty unpleasant yesterday. I know I felt it. And I don't normally feel that kind of thing, but it was so bad yesterday. Even I smelled it and I was going, wait a minute, why do I have a headache and my throat kind of sore? You're working outside for very long and it can really bother you. Yeah. And it is in effect again today. It might get a little better tomorrow, but still the air quality statement is in effect for just about all of southern Ontario. So yeah, widespread smoke again today and again tonight. Tomorrow it'll be more localized smoke, so not quite as pervasive across southern Ontario. It'll start to dissipate, so we should see a little bit better sun tomorrow, but today will be hazy sunshine. And today we're looking at a temperature of 26 degrees with a humidex a little higher today, about 33. So you'll feel the humidity today, and of course that smoke is going to be problematic. We're sitting at 17 degrees right now. Talk about that coming up in detail. Right now, look at traffic, 403 Waterdown Road. Nothing there, looks good. You know, generally we're looking at a little more volume today than we had yesterday for the civic holiday. To some MTO traffic cameras, as we mentioned off the top, we have that collision, Highway 54 closed from Mines Road to Onondaga Town Line Road, a serious collision there. Nothing here at Woodward Avenue, that's doing okay. Top of the Skyway Bridge, Toronto bound away from us on that. And third line, getting a little bit busier even already here this morning, but really no problems right now on the major routes. We will look at weather and traffic. We'll give you all the details coming up. Right now, the news.
Thank you, Brian. One person has died following an overnight single vehicle crash in Haldimand County. The crash happened just after midnight on Highway 54 between Onondaga Town Line and Harrison Roads.
Haldimand Road 54 is going to be closed between Harrison Road and Onondaga Town Line Road probably until 12 o'clock this afternoon. So we're asking everybody to please do not go around the road closure signs for everyone's safety. We have engaged our time team, our traffic incident management enforcement team. They're going to continue to put the pieces of the puzzle back together to determine exactly what happened here.
Police say the driver died at the scene. The road is closed in both directions.
Changes are coming to the Winona Peach Festival this year. New security measures will be in place after a man with a modified gun was arrested at last year's festival. Police seized it after a fight on the Midway. An inspector last year said Ontario officers stopped, quote, what could have been a tragedy at a festival that involved thousands of community members. So this year, in conjunction with Hamilton Police, there will be fencing all around Winona Park where the festival is held. There will be metal detectors at all 5 entrances, along with security and bag checks. And on Friday and Saturday night of the festival, no one will be allowed in the park after 9:30 at night. The Winona Peach Festival is coming up August 22nd to the 24th.
Questions are being raised about plans for a residential treatment and addiction recovery program in central Hamilton. On its website, Hamilton Urban Core Community Health Centre says it's going to open a new treatment program at this home on Aberdeen Avenue between Queen and Locke Streets, and it's set to open this fall. In a letter to people in the ward, Hamilton Councillor Maureen Wilson says she's surprised by limited information available about the program and its deliverables, as well as whether the undefined program can operate effectively at its identified future location. Wilson adds her office has submitted a Freedom of Information request to the Ontario Ministry of Health, which has jurisdiction of such programs. Hamilton Urban Core Community Health runs a mental health and addictions treatment hub on Cannon Street, one of the province's so-called heart hubs for homeless and addiction support. They were developed as part of a policy to ban supervised drug consumption sites within 200 meters of schools and childcare centres.
Air Canada flight attendants have until 2 o'clock this afternoon to vote on a strike mandate. More than 10,000 flight attendants, members of the Canadian Union of Public Employees, have been in contract talks for 7 months. If they give their union executive a strong mandate, CUPE could issue a 72-hour strike notice as early as August 16th. and that could impact Air Canada flights. One of the biggest issues in this dispute is when pay starts. Currently, it begins once the boarding doors are shut, and it stops once they open on arrival. The union wants compensation to start with passenger pre-boarding.
Prime Minister Mark Carney continues his multi-day trip to BC today with a stop in Kelowna, where he will make an announcement at a lumber facility. Carney's visit to the province comes amid renewed trade tensions in the long-running softwood lumber dispute with the U.S., which has placed anti-dumping duties on softwood products. Carney's stop in the BC interior today follows a tour yesterday of a Canadian Forces experimental and test range facility outside Nanaimo, and is meeting on Sunday in Vancouver with Premier David Eby and port executives before attending the city's Pride Parade.
Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne and Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand are heading to Mexico to talk trade. Speaking to Radio-Canada, Champagne says the talks will be about exploring new markets and strengthening our partnership with Mexico. These meetings are happening today and tomorrow, and they come after Ontario Premier Doug Ford called on the federal government to make its own trade deal with the United States, excluding Mexico, accusing Mexico of undercutting manufacturers in Canada and the United States. Canada has delivered humanitarian aid to Gaza. Global Affairs Canada says our armed forces dropped more than 21,000 pounds of supplies from cargo jets. Canada says it will work with international partners to get more aid into the region, criticizing Israel for obstructing that aid. Prime Minister Mark Carney says, in part in a statement, the humanitarian disaster in Gaza is rapidly deteriorating. Canada is intensifying efforts with international partners to develop a credible peace plan and will ensure aid moves forward at the necessary scale. A 55-year-old man has died after an e-bike collided with a Niagara Transit bus. It happened Friday evening around 6:30 at King and Carlisle Streets in St. Catharines. Niagara Regional Police believe the e-bike rider hit the side of the bus after going through the intersection against a red light. The 55-year-old rider was from St. Catharines. No one on the bus was injured. Niagara Transit says it's offering support and resources to the bus operator. A vehicle carrying 44 foreign nationals has been intercepted at the border of Quebec and Vermont. The RCMP received information about a group of migrants planning to cross the border from the U.S. before a cube van was stopped near Stansted, Quebec on Sunday. Most of the migrants were originally from Haiti. Canada Border Services says 3 men are facing charges, while most of the foreign nationals were transferred to its refugee processing centre in Quebec.
Sportsline, 2 days after she beat top seed Coco Gauff in 62 minutes at the National Bank Open in Montreal, there was no letdown for Victoria Mboko.
The fairy tale continues. Victoria Mboko take a bow once again, just 18 years of age, and into the semis here.
The Burlington tennis sensation needed only 77 minutes last night to book her place in the semifinals with a 6-4, 6-2 win over Spain's Jessica Buzas-Manero. Mboko is the first Canadian to reach the semis since Bianca Andreescu won it all in 2019. The 18-year-old is the youngest woman to reach the semifinal since 2015, and Monica Seles and Simona Halep are the only other women to make the Final Four after entering the tournament as a wild card. Mboko's opponent in tomorrow's semi will be Elena Rybakina. The Blue Jays opened a 3-game series at Coors Field in Denver last night, and they cracked open more than a few cold ones to celebrate their return to the win column.
And now Bo Bichette rips one. Center field and deep. Going back Doyle at the wall. It is out of here. Another home run in this game for Bo Bichette. A 3-run blast, and it's 13-1 for the Blue Jays in the 7th.
Bo Bichette hit 2 home runs and had 6 RBI as Toronto destroyed the Rockies 15-1. Ernie Clement also homered and had a career-best 5 of Toronto's season-high 25 hits. Well, Dalton Varsho added a 3-run blast in a 7-run third inning. Eric Lauer picked up his 7th win of the season after allowing just 1 run on 7 hits. The win lifts Toronto back into a first-place tie in the American League with Detroit. And with the loss, Colorado fell to a Major League worst 30-82. About a month after being selected first overall in the NHL draft, Hamilton's Matthew Schaefer has signed a 3-year entry-level contract with the Islanders. He will earn $975,000 a season, but the deal also comes with $3.5 million in performance bonuses. The 17-year-old defenseman also got to throw out the ceremonial first pitch before the Mets' home game against Cleveland yesterday. The 141st Royal Henley Regatta begins today in St. Catharines. More than 2,000 competitors from around the world will hit the water starting at 8 o'clock this morning. And for the first time in several years, the Canadian national team will compete in advance of the World Rowing Championships in China next month. The Jackfish beat London 6-1 to cut their magic number for finishing first in the IBL down to 1. Welland can clinch the pennant with a win at home on Thursday against Brantford or a majors loss in Kitchener. Another local athlete has been nominated for the Sports Illustrated Youth Athlete of the Year Award. James Sharkoff of Ancaster represented Canada at last year's World Karate Championship in Portugal. The student of Lions Heart Family Martial Arts also qualifying for the 2025 team that will compete in Buffalo this October. The winner will be featured in an ad in Sports Illustrated and win $25,000.
Okay, are you ready for this 5th day of August? You know what? Sad news, the sun isn't even up yet. It's, yeah, come on. Yeah, what? It's 11 after 6. The sun doesn't come up till 6:14 now. So come on, sun, let's get going here. All right, let's talk about traffic first of all. 403 Waterdown Road hasn't really changed, so nothing to see right there. All doing fine in the Hamilton area, no problems. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. QEW 405, start there, looks good in St. Catharines. Woodward Avenue doing fine still. Here's the 403 junction. Just about to Brant Street there, looks good. East of Royal Windsor all the way through Cawthra doing fine. Just the problem in Haldimand, in the Haldimand area, Highway 54 completely closed both directions from Mines Road to Onondaga Town Line Road. Serious collision. Won't be open till about noon today. All right, let's get to our temperature that we had this morning. Temperature has just gone up a degree. We were 17. We're now sitting at 18. Winds are light from the north-northeast. Sun, yes, but it's going to be, once again, it's going to be hazy sunshine because we have that special air quality statement in effect for just about all of southern Ontario. The smoke stays with us again today. It'll be with us for tonight. Air quality risk is moderate, 5 this morning, 4 later on this afternoon. It's going to get a little bit better, and tomorrow will be a bit better as well. Tomorrow will just be localized smoke in some areas. So what we're looking at is, well, really no systems around us. Way out to the Midwest, there's a low and with frontal boundary, but what we're looking at is just a little bit of cloud cover later in the week. Otherwise, it's just going to be that smoke once again today. So hazy sunshine, temperatures 29 to 28. Hamilton a little cooler at 26 degrees, but still a humidex of around 33 for the day today. Tonight, stays on the mild side, 16 degrees, 15 in some areas, but hazy overnight tonight. Smoke stays with us. And then tomorrow, the temperature, well, 27 to 29 degrees. Not quite as much smoke for the day tomorrow. We'll start off with some clouds, and then we'll see some sunshine progress as the day goes on. So let's step out the door. August the 5th already, partly cloudy, light winds, temperature right now sitting at 18. And we'll check long range, of course, coming up. Annette, Rick.
Thank you, Brian. Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And the trade war with the U.S. is impacting local beekeepers. Let's say good morning to Emily Vukovic. Emily, what's coming up in Chit Chat this morning?
Hi, good morning. Animated comedy. My goodness. Animated comedy, King of the Hill,
Yeah.
Holy cow, is returning for a reboot after 15 years off the air.
Wow.
Yeah. And there are a lot of people missing from the cast we'll discuss.
Oh.
Okay.
Platonic Season 2 returns to Apple TV. Have you guys seen this show?
No, I've seen the trailer.
I haven't even heard about it.
Oh, it's so good, Annette. I think you'd actually really like it.
Okay.
This is the one with Seth Rogen?
Yeah, it's in Rose Brine.
Yes.
It's so good.
It does look good.
And later on this morning, a fight scene in a movie called Marriage Story, starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, is actually being used to scare off wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just take a deep dive into that one.
Go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Emily. Checking out business news. The Canadian dollar is down 14 basis points trading overseas at 72.45 cents U.S. Gold is down $4.80 an ounce, and crude is 27 cents lower, trading at $66 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, markets are up in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia, markets were up today in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. On North American markets, Bay Street was closed yesterday for the civic holiday. Will resume trading this morning. On Wall Street, the Dow was up almost 600 points. The Nasdaq added just over 400.
Uncertainty in our trade war with the United States is seeping into the local beekeeping industry. While honey and beekeeping equipment are still traded freely under the Canada-US-Mexico Free Trade Agreement without any tariffs, the worry for many local beekeepers is that necessary items will soon be harder to acquire, namely queen bees. A local beekeeper and business owner says the price of some equipment has already gone up. Amid tariff woes, the federal and provincial governments say they're looking to help local beekeepers improve the resilience of their hives and their businesses. Under the Honeybee Health Initiative, first announced back in 2023, the governments say they've given $1.7 million to 206 local beekeepers, funding 334 individual projects. Experts say the top thing for beekeepers looking to improve resilience is bee health.
U.S. President Donald Trump is urging China and India to stop buying oil from Russia. He's trying to pressure Russian President Vladimir Putin into a ceasefire with Ukraine. China, India, and Turkey are the largest buyers of Russian oil. It's very cheap for them. The EU boycotted most of Russia's oil in January of 2023. Despite sanctions, Russia continues to earn substantial oil revenues, expected to reach up to $153 billion U.S. this year. And that money supports Russia's economy and its military.
U.S. President Donald Trump's proposed tax and spending plan could add over $4 trillion to the U.S. debt over the next decade. That's according to a new report from the Congressional Budget Office. The plan calls for major tax cuts, but the CBO says the lost revenue outweighs any savings. The increased borrowing will add nearly $720 billion in interest. It also cuts funding for programs like Medicaid and food aid. But even with those cuts, the deficit would still grow by $3.4 trillion by 2034. The CBO also analyzed making Trump's tax breaks permanent, including exemptions on tips, overtime, and car loan interest, which could push the total debt impact to $5 trillion.
Tesla's board of directors is giving its CEO, Elon Musk, a pay package worth about $29 billion U.S. Now, he's not paid a salary or a bonus for his work as head of the electric vehicle maker. Instead, he gets stock options that'll allow him to buy Tesla shares for a fraction of their market price. Musk is Tesla's largest individual donor, or shareholder rather. He owns about 13% of the company. In a letter to shareholders, Tesla says it's been 8 years since Musk has received what it says is meaningful compensation. The letter also notes legal efforts continue to reinstate his 2018 compensation package.
We're going to take a quick break.
$29 billion. Okay, I can't wrap my head around that.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Taking a break right now. Brian is going to be back with traffic and your 7-day forecast.
Time check 6:23 on this Tuesday morning, getting back after your long weekend. Hopefully you had yesterday off and enjoyed it. Let's talk about traffic here this morning. Top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, still nothing to see here, so still moving nicely. If you go back into St. Catharines at the QEW and the 406, that is really light at the moment, so nothing there. Third line still good. Really slowing down now as we get to Lorne Park, so you're looking at going to Mississauga Road, then Credit River in the distance, so getting pretty slow through here, but nothing at the 403 in Matheson. Still the problem in Haldimand area. Area 4 completely closed both directions. That's from Mines Road to Onondaga Town Line Road for a serious collision, probably closed until noon today. Temperatures right now, Hamilton, well, we were 17 last hour. We've bumped up to 18 this hour. 20 Grimsby, Mississauga, 21 into Toronto. So seasonal temperatures this time of year, 26 and 15, they haven't changed very much. What is changing now significantly is our sun times. 6:14, sun doesn't come up till 6:14, goes down at 8:37, and those are our records for today. And yeah, expect today to be hazy once again like yesterday. Here's the forecast smoke for today. There you can see it's sitting right across southern Ontario. A little bit of a break for Ottawa today, but it's going to waggle a little bit, and then it looks like tomorrow we could improve as far as air quality is concerned. It won't be quite as widespread as it was yesterday and what it will be again today. So hazy sunshine today, 26, feeling like 33. Again, the smoke will continue overnight tonight. Tomorrow will be more localized smoke in some areas, but 27, feeling like 31. Look at the sun continue. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, mix of sun and clouds for the weekend, but temperatures 30 and 31. That's your forecast. Annette, Rick.
Okay, as hot as it is right now, would you swim with an alligator, even if it was your pet? No.
Well, no. German circus performer Christian Cullis has been hopping in the pool with an 8-foot gator named Mrs. Meyer for over 30 years. His father, a former circus performer, bought Mrs. Meyer more than 4 decades ago, and she's been part of the family ever since. And with a potential lifespan of 100 years, Mrs. Meyer may be cuddling for decades to come. Okay. I'm not sure how comfortable I would be.
No.
But I'm sure the Collins family is rather comfy with this gator.
They must be, but still, it's a wild animal. And you think about, like, how powerful they are, how fast they can run, how quickly they can bite.
Yes.
Yeah, no thanks.
No, I would be voting no on this one too.
I'll stick with the pool floatables.
Yeah. More to come after the break. News, weather, traffic on the way. Good morning. Yeah, that's a no-go. Well,